thing they don't teach you about is about your money.
Without the confidence and a level of faith, God can open a door.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't walk through it, it's your loss.
I ended up selling to an equity company.
So you sold it.
Yeah, I netted it it went from $34.41 to $12.4 million.
Triumph from tragedy, the way I overcome the devil mad at me. Farmer like faith, had to plant the seed. Now I work hard, we never take it for granted. We live into a standard, pass it down until it's mastered. I made it from a pallet to a palace and a castle. You can do it too, it's not too much for you to handle. It's that motivation, it's that fire.
What's going on, everybody? So on today's show, we have none other than, what's your name, bro? Introduce yourself.
Dr. Edward Burns Jr.
Dr. Edward Burns Jr. Edward, I don't call you doctor.
No, you don't. It's all good.
Man, we've built a good relationship this last year. I'm super glad to have you on the show. I've been begging you to come on my show.
You know, it's all my fault, man. I've been here and there, had the brain injury situation going on, but
I've ran into you like 17 times already.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
No, you have been busy.
Yes.
You text me when you're all over the world. You're doing all kinds of deals and you making moves.
Yes.
Got that marine life. You bought that marine life.
Retired all day, 24/7, like clockwork.
How long ago was it when you were in the Marines?
14 years ago.
14 years ago?
Yes, I'm 48 now. I'll be 49 in February. So there you go. I retired at 36 years of age. You
look good for your age.
Yes.
He's all, yes, I do. As a matter of fact.
Yes.
You want to know the secret. How long were you in the military?
20.
Marines? 20 years?
Yes.
20 straight years? Did you do like reserves or all straight?
No, all active.
20 years?
Good.
Wow.
Solid.
That's amazing.
I got bumps and bruises to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know.
Some you can see, some you can't see, but they're here.
When I met you, you're going through some things and it's part of your military life.
Yes. Yes.
But that's super cool. 20 years. Not
Yes.
many people can say that they served our country for 20 years.
I loved it. Every moment. It made me become the person that I knew I could become.
Yeah. Now, since we're on the subject, so you also see, because you're killing it, you're doing really well, you're a great person, but you also see the other side of that, right?
Yes.
People, they get, what's the brain traumatic thing they get from the war?
PTSD. Or TBI, traumatic brain injury.
Yeah. And then you get a lot of veterans that come back and they become homeless.
Yes.
Now, are you built different? Is that why you're not homeless?
No, I was once homeless as well.
Were you?
I used to eat out of trash cans.
The trash can?
Yes.
But that's when you got out of the military? Or
yes.
When was that?
When I retired from the military. It's a different life, Growing up I'm from Memphis, really. So, and from the South. So growing up from the South, I was going to be one or two things, Chris. I was going to be a pastor or a drug dealer. And I didn't meet no requirements.
Yeah. So neither one.
Neither one.
So you went to the trash can.
I went to the Marine Corps.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
You went to the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And then when you got out of the Marine Corps,
I became homeless. Me and my daughter.
Is that because, like I tell people, and I don't want to bash the Marines or any of our branches, but it's almost like because you're conditioned. And you have to have a stronger mindset to know that you can change what you've been preconditioned to.
Correct.
Because you don't know, like you're coming out, and you don't know how to act, how to be, because they're in there telling you what to do.
Yes. You got
It's almost like prison.
Almost like institutionalized.
Yeah, it's like prison.
Yeah, because you taught what to do, you told what to do, you eat when they tell you to eat, you sleep when they tell you to eat. But one thing they don't teach you about is about your money.
Yeah.
I was enlisted, so versus being an officer, we get different type of criteria that we go through. It might be different now than it was when I was in, but for me, when I came out, I had no skill set at all about finances. I knew how to. I got paid on the 1st. I got paid on the 15th. I had no investments. I had a TSP plan, but it wasn't what it should have been when I returned home.
So we need programs like that, like show veterans financial planning, entrepreneurship, basic fundamental skills. Because they don't know how to do it. Because even if they're self-sufficient in the military, you're coming out to a different world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most people going to the military, you're coming straight out of high school. So you're 16, 17 years old.
You don't know anything anyways.
All you know is I'm away from home, I'm happy, I got 3 meals, I got a roof over my head, I'm happy.
And you're possibly traveling the world.
Yes.
Depending on what branch.
Depending on what branch, or depending on what your MOS is, you're traveling the world.
Yeah. 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 So you go in the military. You're working in the military. Did you go to any wars or anything like that? Or?
I've been overseas quite a few times.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about those
Yeah.
things because it's we that understands it, we get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're well, it's 20 years. We know we went through a few wars in those 20 years.
Exactly.
At some
So
point, you're
94,
going there
you
at some
got
point, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you got 94, got the 93, 94, the first Gulf War. You got those things going on.
Mm-hmm.
You got the second one with Kuwait. You got those things going on. You got the little skirmishes that you don't hear about.
They're
going
everywhere.
on.
Those are all over the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Correct.
We're fighting some little militia.
Correct. Yes, all the time.
A militia of 50,000 people and stuff.
Yes. Yes. So for everybody that's in the military, I love all my brothers and sisters who's in the military because they're doing a great job protecting us.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, we need more people because it does protect us.
Yes.
Like, you can say whatever, and I can say, well, there's people homeless and all that stuff, but we still need our military. We still need people to volunteer for our military. I tried to go when I was younger, and I was just a knucklehead. They didn't want me. Plain and simple. I mean, I only went to 9th grade. They're like, dude, you got to get out of high school. You know what I mean?
Heck, I was knucklehead too, man.
Yeah.
I was knucklehead too.
Yeah. So you get out of the military.
Yes.
Sounds like you're a single dad.
Yes, I was. I was married at the time. Came home, divorced.
So she left you while you were like ending your career.
Yeah, full custody of my daughter at the time. Living in the backseat of a Kia Sportage, candy apple
hold
red.
on. You got full custody of your daughter?
Yes.
How'd that happen?
My daughter had some traumatic things happen to her, to her stepfather, and it was really traumatic.
Yeah.
To her as a little girl, and for me as a father, I obtained full custody of her.
So you just went and snatched her up and said, "I'm gonna."
Yes.
Yeah, and then you end up homeless.
Yes. No one, you could never tell.
What do you mean?
Because it was from the training that I had before.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I could survive. I lived in a state, Illinois. I lived behind a bank called Neighbor Federal Credit Union, and we survived. I dumpster dived for 9 months.
So the Navies were taking care of you the whole time. The Navy?
No, I was in.
I'm just kidding.
No,
bank.
I was actually going. It's a new law now where that the restaurants, McDonald's and Burger King, have to put locks on their garbage cans now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'm part of that law because I was one of the guys.
You're the reason?
I'm one of the guys who was dumpster diving, going in and getting all the food I can get for my daughter and I to eat because we need to survive. One thing the Marine Corps taught me was how to survive, and we survived it.
Wow. So you're literally dumpster diving for food for you and your daughter.
Yes.
And now you're sitting here.
Yes, and there's a reason for that.
Man, God is so good.
Exactly, and many people don't even understand.
So, hold on. You're dumpster diving for food, like from restaurants.
Yes.
Like if I as a normal person, I'm like, that's disgusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for you, you're like, this is survival.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
And
That's why you're so crazy.
Yeah, you have to be.
It ain't the military, it's that dumpster.
What people don't
you
realize.
knock your head jumping in that dumpster.
Yeah, what people don't realize is this. It's a good book. It's called the Bible. And in Solomon, he said, if I can feed the birds of the air, what make you think I can't feed you?
Yeah.
And it was part of my test for my testimony now. So I understood the program.
Yeah.
I got it.
I always say like, and I don't want to talk bad about people who are homeless, and I pray to God that never happens to me. Like I don't get jacked up or something. But I'm like, and I have been in the past when I was on drugs a lot. I was running around. Same thing. I was everywhere. But I tell the kids and stuff, and it's hard for me to understand it because I'm like, if something ever happens and I have to become homeless, like I'm definitely not gonna not survive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna take showers. I'm gonna by any means necessary.
And thank goodness to the YMCA. I took showers in basins with my daughter, washed up in the basins there. They never threw me out. I kind of think they knew what it was. So every time I go by a YMCA, I'm always donating something to them. And I'm always grateful because it was a door that was open for me because it was a pathway that was made by my Father, which is in heaven, which never, I always look at it and say, hey, if I'm ever in need, I know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're single dad. How does that look like? How do you get back on your feet? Because obviously you're trying to get something going. I know this whole time your brain's rattling. You're like, I got to get something going.
Yeah.
I have my daughter. How old is she at that time?
2.
She's 2 years old.
Yes.
Holy jeez. So she's 2 years old. You're throwing her in the dumpster like, get that burger out for me. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just joking.
I'm the one in the dumpster saying, getting it out of there. And then she looked at me. I would never forget. I mean, at 2 years old, she looked at me every day. She said, "Daddy, I love you." She would go to class with me every day.
She understood it.
Yeah, I'm talking to her. This is real life.
Yeah.
We always had a camping trip every night. And I carry that white blanket with me to this day that I always had with me because we always had a camping trip. And she would always say, "We going camping tonight?" "Yeah, we're going camping." And you got to remember, this is in a harsh winter in Illinois with snow on the ground and people don't know. And it was many nights that I thought about, taking my life. And many nights I thought I was just giving up on period, period. But I understood, this is something greater. This is bigger than me.
What's crazy is like when I was little, so my mom basically gave me up right before I turned 8. And I was kidnapped. Same time I was kidnapped by my sister's dad. He saved my life. My mom was a drug addict. And so I would go with, before that, I would go with him and he would like pick me up and stuff like that because I didn't have a dad. And, but at one point when I moved with him, it was the same thing. We were dumpster diving. So I was 7, right before I turned 8. I was dumpster diving, Boys and Girls Club, and then I instantly started hustling. Like, I was learning I would try to sell anything, try to make extra money. Then I remember I'd get a quarter, try to go to Goodwill, get a t-shirt or something, but I would go in the Boys and Girls Club and we would be taking the clothes out. It was mostly clothes, not food. Because we got free food from the government. So it was clothes and, it would be stinky, smelly. And what's crazy is like till to this day, I smell the same smell sometimes. And I will not wear anything that comes from that's used.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I won't go to Goodwill, and I'm not that I'm too good for it. I just won't because it screwed me up.
Wow. I understand.
So I understand the dumpster. I don't understand as an adult, as a parent, but I understand as a child having to you're fending for yourself, as we got better, we started picking cans. He would throw me Paul. His name was Paul. He's dead now, but he showed me how to get cans. So then we made these sticks and we just go to every dumpster and take all the cans. And then we started selling cans. And because he got us, what happens is he took me in, and he was just a poor guy and normal guy. And he started getting his foot cut off and stuff. So he couldn't work. Wow. Then he was waiting on Social Security money and there was no money. That's what happened. Wow. And so we would go everywhere getting cans, so the story, I can't imagine, a 2-year-old girl, having to be a part of that. She doesn't even know if it's right or wrong yet. Thank God at that time, thank God she was young enough. I mean, not thank God he had to go through that, but it could have been a real traumatic, worse traumatic, having to live that lifestyle.
Yes, but she understood, but she understood to the point where that we was camping. I made
made it fun.
I made sure every day that it was a new adventure we was going on.
I'm gonna try that with my kids.
Not in today's world. We're in 2025.
Hey guys,
going
time
down.
to go camping. Right here at McDonald's. Don't worry, guys. We're going camping. Edward taught me this.
Yeah, I mean, for me to be able to boil the snow, to water into canteens that I had already had in my life, and to make water and to do those type of things. That's one thing about the military. It prepared me for things that I thought I would never have to go through. But I'm grateful that I was chosen to go through what I went through at that time because it made me a better person.
Yeah. Well, and it saved your daughter's life.
Yeah. Saved my life too.
Well, of course. And so so she's 2 years old. You're getting out of the military. You get custody of her.
Yes.
The mom, we don't even want to talk about the mom. We can if you want.
Beautiful lady. No comment. Beautiful lady.
Okay. No comment. So
there we go.
What happens? How do you get out of that, that rut, that little, I don't know, how long was this for?
9 months.
So that's a long time.
Strong.
9 months, guys, anyone could, that's only 9 months. Go dumpster dive and live in your car for 9 months and go do it for a week. Dude, I spent the night here. I wasn't supposed to say this, but I spent the night here, in my office, and it was like hell. And I tested it.
Yes.
To see what it felt like. And it was like, oh, what the hell? This is, how can anyone do this?
It's a mindset. It's to how people throw rocks at you.
Yeah.
Spit on you.
So they were doing that.
Yes, I was sneaky. I'm going to DeVry University in school. They knew something was wrong, but no one then tossed me out. They knew something was wrong.
So you enrolled because you had a GI Bill. You enrolled in school.
I took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because I'm homeless, it doesn't stop me from doing what I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a higher calling for me. It's something more I should be doing. I just have to wait on my turn.
Yeah. You didn't accept it.
No, I had to wait on my turn. Eventually, it was going to break. And what got me through it a lot was, sitting in the front seat of the car. You turn the car on, turn it off because you're hot and you're cold. You can't sit in with the car running because you're going to end up dying.
You don't have gas.
Yeah, and turn it on and off. But what I realized was, sit there and cry. And you praying while you're crying. For me, that was my way out because the inner man inside of me was talking to the Father in a way that I couldn't speak to you. But I knew that one day I was going to wake up, I could be in a better place. And I was going to be here with my baby. We was going to make it. We were going to be able to do things that most people won't even, their dreams won't even be able to hold what I got going on right now.
So you were manifesting this?
Yes, I was manifesting it, but yet I was still, my faith wasn't as strong as it is now.
Yeah.
My faith is so strong in the Father that I know that whatever mountain comes my way, it's already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said it.
Yes.
Yeah. We just had to believe it.
Just believe.
We just had to believe it.
Believe and work. Go to work.
Yeah. So you're going to DeVry.
Yes.
You're trying to figure this out. You're a single dad. Did you get her in a program, like a babysitting program?
No.
Thing, or
She went with me.
she went with you to DeVry?
Everywhere I went.
Oh, wow.
It's my baby.
Yeah. Well, you had no other choice.
I had no choice.
Yeah, there's no other
I'm a
choice.
man. I couldn't get food stamp. I couldn't get WIC. Couldn't get nothing. I had to go out and do it.
Why couldn't you get any of that?
I'm a man. Women, infants, and children. I'm a man. It's not MIC. It's WIC. You know what I mean? Like they look at me like, go get a job. I'm like, I'm trying to, but I have no address.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I tell you this. It's a woman named Tanya Reynolds.
Okay.
I met her at the parking lot of Navy Federal Credit Union. She was the property manager of some apartments in Zion, Illinois. And she saw my daughter. She said, hey, that baby did her hair done. Who's doing your baby hair for you? I said, nobody. Could you do it for me? Be honest, to me, it was a door being open because she gave me my first apartment.
Oh, nice.
No money down, no job, no application fee, just because of timing.
Yeah.
And I believe that it was by the Father himself saying, hey, I'm coming your way.
Yeah.
Now this door's going to be open to you. Be ready for when the door's open.
Yeah. Yeah. I talk about that all the time. I'm like broken record. And I'll tell people, like, I literally say it almost on every podcast. I'm going to say it again, is without the confidence and a level of faith, God can open a door. But if you don't walk through it, it's your loss.
Yes.
Kind of like those stories we hear, like, you hear those jokes, like someone, they're in the middle of the ocean and they're praying, like, God, come save me. And he sends this and he sends that. And then you still don't get it.
Still don't get it.
You don't get it.
Yes.
Yeah. So she like, God opened that door and said, here's an apartment.
Yes.
For you and your little baby.
Yes.
And then what happened? What happens?
She gives me all her furniture.
So you got a furnished apartment?
No, she gives me all her furniture. She's getting new furniture like the next week.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I moved in with her furniture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Furnished apartment.
Yes.
Your baby goes from Mickey D's, half-eaten Mickey D's.
Yes.
To sleeping in the car to now an apartment.
Correct.
What did you get? A 1-bedroom?
1 bedroom. That's all I can
you
afford.
need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
I'm happy.
1 bedroom, single dad. You're going to DeVry?
Yes.
Did you finish DeVry?
Of course, I graduated.
Well, I don't know. I'm saying,
Of
you're saying
course.
of course. Like,
Of course.
If it's normal, but I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
From the mindset that I had.
My education stopped really low.
Oh, don't worry. It's just paper.
Yeah. It is just paper.
Just paper.
Yeah. Especially today.
Today, just paper.
Everything you want to know, you can learn. It's right at the fingertips.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
this device.
Yes.
It's not a phone no more. It's a device.
It's exactly.
Nobody uses it to talk on.
No, we use it for everything else.
Everything else.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we don't even want to talk no more. For the longest time, I'll tell Felicity, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, all them, like, you guys never have your ringer on, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, well, I don't want to be bothered, right? Now, I never have my ringer on.
Because you won't be bothered.
But my watch will beat, like, ring, like a rattle or a vibrate. So I can still, but I don't want, it's crazy
Yeah.
how life's changing. So you get an apartment, and what, like, you get a job? What happens? Like,
Well, this is a strange thing that happens. Like when I first got my apartment, I was applying for a lot of jobs, and my rent was actually due, and I didn't know how I was gonna pay that first month's rent, but I knew I had a place to stay. And some church sent me a check in the mail. Had no idea what was a check. I thought it was one of those checks things you get, those mails things you get, fake checks, you throw them in a trash can.
oh, like you borrow money, like a
Yeah,
loan
you
thing,
throw them in a trash can, right? And a check, I never forget it, check for $5,786.37.
That's a nice check when you're broke.
I remember it. I remember it clear
That's
as
a
day.
real nice check when you're broke.
When I got this check, I threw it in a garbage can because I thought it was one of those things that you get in the mail. It was fake, a fake check. And I remember I said, I called my mother. I said, Mom, I said, my rent's due. I don't know what I'm gonna do about my rent. I made a promise. I don't have a job yet. And she said, did you check your mail? I said, I checked my mail. She said, did you get anything in the mail? I said, I got some paper in the mail. I got this thing. She said, check the trash can again. So when I checked the trash can, I said, well, I emptied my trash can. So I think you may want to go check your trash can. So I dug through piles and piles of garbage.
Which you already knew how to do.
Yes. And I found this check.
So you threw the check away.
Yes.
And I'm just going to guess your mom somehow helped you from a distance. But
She was
through
praying for me. Yeah, through a church. She was praying for me.
And the church sent you money.
Send me a check.
$5,700.
Yes.
Dude, that's a lot of money.
And I was like, wait a minute, this is wrong. So I pulled the check out the trash can. It was nasty. Had to hang it up and let it dry. Had to iron back out again.
Really?
Yeah. I did all that stuff to it. Took it to the bank. It cashed. And I would pay my rent for 1, 2, 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months of rent. Yeah.
And that
food,
was the big...
bought food.
So how'd you start getting income and stuff like that?
One of my good friends who worked with a company called Big Blue, IBM, they had an interview on campus. And I was like, man, I'll sweep y'all floors. Whatever it takes, I'll do it, right? And it got me a job in the telecommunications industry. So I got my first job outside the military.
So you get an apartment.
No experience.
Furnished apartment.
Yeah.
$5,700.
Yeah.
Get a first job at IBM.
$18 an hour.
That's a lot back then.
Back then, yes.
How many years ago was that?
Man, I can't even count. It's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you did 20. 30.
Big Blue.
Yeah. I mean, that's like 19 years ago. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, God is so good.
Gave me a chance.
God is so good. Like,
Yes.
he gave you the will and the endurance and stamina to save your daughter
Yes.
and to save yourself.
Yes.
Open the door to a furnished apartment.
Yes.
Gave you a check which you threw away. You were like the people in the ocean. Like the story I was telling.
Hey, here we go.
God
Yeah.
help me. Send you a check. God help me.
It's in the garbage can. Okay.
Right. Thank God for your mom.
Yes.
Right. And then you get a really cool job.
Yes.
Like, that's so super cool. So how, like, right now, I know you as an insurance guy, a financial services. I'm calling you the insurance guy, but your financial services. That's how I know you. How do you go from IBM into this industry that you're in now?
Wow. I didn't like working for anybody else. Mm-hmm. When I left IBM, it was like over the summer. You know how the summer goes. Like they lay you off, bring you back. They lay you off, they bring you back, right? Yeah. And for me, I was like, I'm tired of this. And during that time, my son Christopher, he passed away. He drowned. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a lot of things hit me at one time. I'm trying to figure life out. Like I got my daughter, then my son passes away. I'm trying to figure this out. And I was like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna keep working these jobs until I find out what's good for me. I'm gonna be grateful for what I already have. I'm gonna be grateful for it. Then I found the job working for the railroad, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad. I liked the job, but the hour was just too long. I was working 6 days a week, 16, 17 hours a day. I was a train master. Didn't like it, but I understood what it was. So I quit that job. I opened up my janitorial company, Cold Turkey. I spent $34.41 on a bottle of Pine Sol, a mop, a broom, and a bucket.
Wow.
And I started my own company, Valor Cleaning Services, and I became ranked #1 in the entire state of Washington, Oregon, and California at that time.
So you had a cleaning service, like office cleaning, or what was that?
Yes, I did everything from hospitals to offices to dealerships. And my first ever job I got out of that, out from being an entrepreneur was Larry H. Miller Lexus. They gave me my first chance.
So you starting the janitorial service that helped you become the salesman you are today.
Correct.
Because you got to sell yourself, especially you're starting from scratch.
Yes, I had no experience. I had no experience cleaning anything besides Marine Corps experience.
So you went from begging for jobs to selling jobs.
I went from begging from jobs.
Because we're all beggars when we start. We don't know
Yes.
anything. We're like, just please give me a chance. Please give me,
I went 30 days without having anything, no job, no one gave me an opportunity to do anything in life. One Saturday afternoon, snowing on the ground, I get this phone call, told me to come in and they'll give me a tryout, and they tried me out, and the rest is history.
Nice. So, what happens with the? Did you say I wasn't paying attention real quick for a little bit. But what happens with the cleaning service?
I ended up selling to an equity company firm.
So you sold it.
Yeah, I netted it it went from $34.41 to $12.4 million.
Woo! So how long did you have that business?
9 months.
So you sold it in 9 months?
I built it in 9 months.
And then how long after did you sell it?
9 months.
You guys, did you hear that?
9 months.
So 9 months, 1 year, let's call it 1 year.
Yes.
You started with nothing.
Yes.
You were broke anyways.
$34.41.
And you sold it for $12 million.
$12.4 million.
I gotta start janitorial service.
Yeah, I tell everybody, here's the secret. A mop, bottle of pine sol, a bucket, all from Walmart.
Yeah. Start a business.
That's it.
Yeah.
I had I didn't even have LLC even formed. I had no attorneys.
So what were you
nothing.
like, let me clean your building, let me clean your this?
Yes, I was walking through, knock on doors. There was no solicitation on the door. They would put me out. They would call the cops on me. This is in Washington State. And I remember I went back to this dealership 4 times. Each time I would go to the dealership, they were like, no, we good. So I went home. I went to sleep and I had a dream. It was a dream. I'm like, in a dream, this guy said, go back to that store. I went back in there again like a clown.
The 5th time.
They threw me out again, of course. And this time, when he threw me out, I left my car on top of one of the sales guy's desk. And what happened was, the people who was cleaning the dealership earlier didn't show up the night prior.
Oh.
He had a plan for me.
They failed and you're right there. Who's this guy?
Who is this guy? And
He's been bugging us.
He called me several times. And he cussed me out because I didn't clean his building, but it was the wrong person. He told me to come in. They cussed me out because they thought I cleaned the building.
They just seen a cleaning services card or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he brought me in. And I said, I'm not the guy that did this job. He said, well, can you do it? 6,000 square feet building. It's just one of me. I'm like, what do you need done? He said, my floor's waxed. I had no money to get a buffer or a waxer. So I went to Home Depot, got the green pad and red pad and a buffer and a waxer. And I got the gray bottle of wax on loan to go back and do it.
Oh, like the tool,
no
tool
money,
rental or whatever?
No money. She gave it to me on loan. Said, you going to bring this back to me? Here's my driver's license. I have to come back. And she did it.
And you executed.
Yes, this is prayer. Doors open. You got to walk through them.
And then you learn how to buff.
On YouTube. YouTube University.
YouTube.
YouTube University.
You would think more people would like learn more things because it's right there. You can learn anything. I'm on YouTube a lot. Like I'm on YouTube a lot. Mm-hmm. You can learn anything. So you go and get this contract from nothing.
Yes.
You start this business from nothing.
Yes.
You sell it for $12 million.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Well, it was $20 million because the contract I sold, I owned all the contracts from the hospitals to the dealerships to everything else. Yes. Yeah. So I am selling the contracts.
Yeah. But it sounds like you made $12 million.
Yeah, I made a lot of money.
Yeah. Because you made $12 million. This guy, that's really good.
I made a lot of money.
That's super cool. So then how do you get into, like, now fast forward a little bit, how do you get into the financial services industry?
I'm from the streets. Maybe I'm going to be a drug dealer or a pastor.
Yeah, you couldn't make it as either one.
I couldn't. I didn't qualify.
Yeah.
I didn't qualify. So this is what happened to me. I'm this crazy guy that's walking down the street, driving his car with $250,000 in the backseat, in the trunk of his car.
You're trying to be like Floyd.
I didn't trust banks.
Really?
I had no idea about money. I had no idea about accountants. I had no idea about lawyers and how to do things the right way. And I met this lady who was with another company, and she was telling me about these insurance policies and how I can invest my money and stuff. Because the company I had before, we had this company called ADP. Hope you don't mind me saying that. And they was
like
taking
a payroll
out
company?
Yeah, they was taking out 401k money. It was charging us more in fees than it was in my people was actually making. We was matching dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
So I said, is there a better way? And she's like, yeah, I can help you with that. So I went to my truck in my car and I pulled out this duffel bag full of money. She thought I was a drug dealer. She said, I can't take your money. So she helped me get a lawyer and she helped me get an accountant to help me put the money in the right places. And then I started to learn about financial services because from her, how money works. Mm-hmm. And I started to put myself through schooling. I went to Harvard to learn about it. And I went to each insurance company like Pac Life, Nationwide. I went to State Farm, all these type of insurance companies because I wanted to learn what they actually knew. So as long as you wanted to become an agent, they would bring you out for trainings on your own dime.
Yeah.
So I went and I sat there for months and trained with these people and learned what they knew. Not virtually, but I actually went to knocked on the door. They let me in. I sat them in the classes and I actually learned.
Nice.
Yeah, it took a while, but I learned.
So you're familiar with a lot of these companies out there.
Transamerica, you name them, I've been inside the doors.
Yeah, yeah. So you get into this insurance industry.
Yes.
And you start selling policies. What part of it did you fall in love with? Because you're pretty passionate about it.
People.
The people.
I love helping people.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know until you don't know it. Mm-hmm. Right? I didn't know it. I mean, I want you to imagine you walk around here with $250,000 in your trunk in your car. You're like, well, how much interest is your money actually getting? Nothing. Actually, you're about to lose it all because if you get caught by a cop, you get caught by guys,
and they're going to seize the money. They're taking the money.
They seizing the money. Yeah. Seizing the money. So I didn't know anything about money. I didn't know anything about really how it actually worked for you and not you working for the money. So once I understood the dynamics of how life insurance actually worked, how money actually worked, what is constant the dividends, what are credit options, it started making sense to me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I can make a lot more money off this than I could just really working a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Then the more people that I can tell about it, more people I can actually help, those who want my help, I can help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've always been like that since I met you. It's like, I'll help you if you want the help.
If you want it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to force it on you.
Yeah. And I bought a policy from you, and actually you helped me. You looked at what I had, mm-hmm. and I mean, luckily I only lost like $30,000. Could have been like 80.
Hey.
I mean, you know what I mean?
But I think that education is key.
Yeah.
You know,
it costs you though.
It costs you. But people, if you so hyped up for just getting rich quick, that's when you fall into that trap of the emotional roller coaster or the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You never get off of it because you keep dumping money into places where it doesn't belong. Like I tell anybody, in 1980 is when the 401k really came to prominence because during the Reagan era, they wanted you to know, put the middle class to put their money somewhere where they could actually make money from the middle class instead of actually training you where the money should go. Mm-hmm. What happened was the 401k wasn't really built for us as average Americans. It was built as a tax shelter for the rich CEOs.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not, you can't even put that much money into it anymore.
Exactly. Well, now we got Roth, we got IRAs, we got other instruments out here that actually work.
A lot of them are all capped.
Yes. But it's certain things that are not capped that you're not even aware of that you can actually use to your advantage, whereby you can actually build generational wealth for your family. But if you don't have some type of a ground floor or you have a base for something, you're bound to lose.
Yeah. And I think you guys offer some of those different services that'll help you generate more income or grow your I don't know.
Portfolio?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't want to say the wrong words.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. There are so many products and services out here, right? And we understand that one size doesn't fit all. It just doesn't. A 401k it's only a bridge, like an IUL is a bridge. It's not made for everybody. Everyone can use term insurance policies. There are better ones than there are old ones. The old ones without living benefits. The new ones, you have living benefits. So it helps you if you got sick, cancer, diabetes, or chronic illness, COVID, using a machine to breathe on for 6 or 9 months.
Yeah.
You need that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Versus not knowing. When you do know, you do better. You know?
Yeah, I think we should, anytime you're going to buy something, I think nowadays you should really research what it is.
Yes.
Even if it comes from a professional.
Yes.
You know, just do your own little research. You don't have to become an expert at it. But if a doctor's going to prescribe you some crazy medicine you never heard of, research it. What are the side effects? Because they may not tell you everything.
Correct.
They may forget to tell you, not maliciously, or they may maliciously not tell you.
Correct.
But I think it's up to us to do our own research on whatever, if we're buying a product and a service, whatever it is, just to know the ins and outs and make a real intelligent decision rather than just winging it. And then like, you're there 2 years later and like, holy geez, what did I just do?
Correct.
You know, like the IUL I bought, I didn't do any research on it. I heard what I heard online.
Yes.
From a few popular people.
Yes.
And I go buy the same program and I'm screwed, right? I was screwed.
Well,
right. You were on the phone with me when I had to cancel it.
Exactly. But here's the thing. If you was educated more, you would know what to do with it properly.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's all type of things out here that actually works. But if it's not done right by the professional to bridge a gap for something that you're missing, it might not be the best product for you. Mm-hmm. For me, I always go back to I didn't trust banks.
Yeah.
So who I was going to trust if I didn't trust the banks with that money? So it took me time. It took me time to go back to my basics, and I went back to the basics to learn, why am I doing life insurance? Why am I doing financial services? Why am I even talking to people, period?
Yeah, yeah. And how long you been in the industry now?
16 years now.
16 years.
16 years.
Been all over.
Still growing.
And you're in a new venture.
Yes.
The previous podcast I did was Magali.
Okay.
And I think you know her.
I do. I know her well.
She's wearing a big old ring, bro.
I saw that. Whoever she's with is a very lucky person. Very lucky. Beautiful lady.
So your next journey, what does that look like? So you've been doing this for a long time for others.
Yes.
And how does it look like now?
Staying humble. Mm-hmm. Being patient with myself. Surrounding myself with great leaders like our president, Kevin Jensen, our CEO, Magali Tejada, with great leadership that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think for our organization, we are more of a teaching, educational, driven company versus more of what you see, the flamboyant styles of, fancy cars and big houses and stuff like that.
You do have a fancy car though. It's not that fancy. I don't think it's that fancy.
I mean,
some people think it's fancy.
No, it's all right.
I mean, I've seen fancier.
Yeah, I got the Rolls Royce, I got the Bentley.
I mean,
we can compare data.
You want me to get my Chevy?
It's okay. They all still in the H-frame, right? 4 wheels and H-frame.
Yeah.
Don't matter as long as you get from point A to point B, right?
I mean, one does feel a little better than the other.
Yeah, one does ride smoother too.
I wouldn't even know.
But we get together. Like, I really feel that the organization that we are building right now, especially in today's climate with inflation and with people not knowing what to do with their money, with economic loss.
Yeah.
Right now, if you look at at this time, probably during the interview, right now, inflation is almost 8%.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the index, everything's off. Everything's off. Everything's off right now. It's the yield, the debt is high. It's not. People think we're gonna get really good really quick because we got the greatest president ever coming in, which he is, in my opinion. Whatever, maybe George Washington and Lincoln are better.
Hey, I'm a capitalist too. I get it,
but like he's not gonna be able to fix what's gonna happen.
No. I think this stuff, what we got going on right now, it's going to take time to watch it go from A to B. But then over time, it'll do an auto correction on itself.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile, like us as consumers, we have to protect ourselves with your products.
Yes,
I really believe. I mean, I really believe in having a great policy. Mm-hmm. When I bought this building, I had to get a policy on myself. Mm-hmm. People don't know that when you some properties, the banks require you to get a key man.
Yes. Key person insurance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just in case you die, the bank gets their money back.
Get their money back.
They want their money back. They care less. I want my money.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. I think it's like we both entrepreneurs. I think, especially in my industry, we have a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't understand how insane you have to be to do what we're about to go out and conquer.
They're a wantrepreneur?
I think Some of them are, and some of them are entrepreneurs too. But in our state,
There's nothing wrong with an entrepreneur.
no, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because I was once an entrepreneur as well. But as an entrepreneur, we understand there's one way in, one way out. We're gonna our backs against the wall. We're gonna find our way off the wall going forward. I think what we're about to accomplish during this time right now, it's gonna be historic. It's gonna be something that people have never ever seen before, because it's coming from a place of we want everyone to be successful in what they're doing.
That's so crucial. Like, because there's definitely a lot in the financial industry. A lot of if you want to live a great life to take care of your family, you can make some money. You can help families. You know, you can. There's just so many things you can teach people. You mentor people through it.
Yes.
There's just so many avenues entering the industry. So I'm glad you're taking this to the next level. You started Logos.
Yes.
Like, it's super cool. You know, since I met you.
Yes.
You know, I think your team's great, and I think like that next level is going to be nothing but greatness. Obviously, it's going to be hard.
Yes. No. It's not gonna be hard at all.
It will.
No, it won't.
Oh, well.
Because hard.
I just want to mess with you.
Hard is something you don't want to do, but if it's challenging, we love challenges.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I got you.
There's always going to be the challenges.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be people coming at you.
Yes.
You're going to have regulators.
Of course.
You know,
Compliance officers.
Yeah, they're going to be, you know, what is this policy? What is that policy?
Correct.
Then you're going to have to create your own compliance within yourselves.
We do.
Checking policies.
Yes.
Because you're going to get these bad policies sold by people you sign up. You never know who they are.
New agents coming in now. We have to make sure
they want to sell anything and everything.
Yeah. You got to make sure they, you know, our company is based on belief.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a believer, first and foremost. Without the Father, I'm nothing. And I know that. I'm not ashamed to tell anybody. I know I'm nothing without him. But I believe that as long as I stay with him.
Yeah.
I know that
Totally.
weapons will form against me. Yes, they will happen, but they won't win because we are in the right places. We're going to have bumps and bruises because it's never going to be perfect, because there's going to be a lesson learned in each phase that we go throughout this next coming year. My goal is to ensure that those bumps and bruises are not caused by these hands, but let those be a challenge, a test for us, so we go to our next phase, the second and third year in business.
It's super cool, man. Like you're in the midst of your second multi-million-dollar company.
Yes.
And you know, not many people get to have $1 million company, let alone 2 multi-million-dollar companies. That's such a blessing in itself. You know, it's inspiring for, you know, people who are watching or people that may be following you or myself. It's like, you can do it. Like, you started a janitorial service basically with nothing.
Yes.
Now you're doing an insurance company, life, financial planning, all that stuff. And you're taking this to the next level in an industry that's hard to get in, hard to dominate. There's a lot of big players.
Yes.
And, you know, that'll scare people alone, right? Just, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
You hear all these big names. If anyone's watching, like, they're paying attention, there's some big names out there. And you're like, let's go, you know? And so I love that about you, the passion, the drive, you know, and like you're saying, is keep God first.
I'm insane with what we're about to do. You have to be. You can't have any fear. The second you let fear seep in, you already lost the battle.
Yeah, you're done.
You know, I was watching the movie called Midway. I don't know if you saw it on Netflix yet. It's called Midway.
It's a new one?
Midway, yes. It's a great movie. It was talking about the strategies between the generals and the admirals that was fighting on the Japanese side and the American side.
Okay.
It was talking about the absolute, you know, how the Japanese, the admiral had absolute power versus when the American admiral spoke, he had a concession around him. That means he had some wise counsels. How we won the Battle of Midway, wise counsel. And for me, I think and I know for sure that we don't have any fear with the team that we've assembled together.
Yeah.
With God first. He's first. If he leading the charge, I'm going where he goes.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line.
I love it. Well, I'm super excited for what's happening in your life. What can we leave our audience with, like a powerful nugget for that young entrepreneur? Maybe someone wanting to get into financial planning. What kind of nugget could you? Let's just go straight to financial planning, because this is your passion.
Yeah.
And like everything that comes out of you when we talk and stuff, like I feel it. And I think other people need to know it. And like maybe you can help that young man get into a new career, that young woman. You know, what's a good nugget?
Be patient with themselves. Be open to listening. If you're a well-educated person, put your degree in your back pocket and just learn this new skill that's going to actually help not only you, but other families build wealth over time.
Yeah, yeah.
What I've learned for myself is I can go from 40,000 my first year to 80,000 my second year to 120,000 my third year. After that third year, all we're doing is rinsing and repeating. If you put the commission out of your brain and work on the mission of helping people make it in life, everything has to be added onto you.
I love it. I love it. Where can we follow you?
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
What's the hashtags? Or?
Dr. Edward Burns Jr.
Okay.
That's
and
it.
then Logos Financial?
Logos Financial, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So there it is, guys. Be patient. I mean, so many of us want to start a business super fast. We see it on Instagram, so we want to try to compete. But listen, run the race you're in, learn how to win that one, and move on to the next racetrack. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everything we're doing. Be blessed.